Hi, I'm Heather from PaintedWorldFA Arts, and today is Monday in our P.J.S Yarn Chat podcast. Hi everyone! I hope you have all had an awesome, wonderful weekend. I know I had a nice, relaxing weekend just hanging out with my son and hubby and doing family things. And now my son is finally back to school, and he was all excited going back to school today after having a 3-week Christmas, New Year's break. And now he's all back to school, seeing his friends and everything, and he loves going to school. And I like having the little mommy break because then the hubby is at work, and then I get to do fun stay-at-home mom things, and I get to update all my social medias and stuff and blog, and I get to make fun videos for all of you and entertain all of you a lot more better than when they're all around and distracting me. And things are all back to normal schedule, and I hope everything ends up working out really good and everything for everything that's going on with me and everything, which I will talk more about at the end of this video. I didn't get a whole lot done since you last talked to me, since my Friday podcast was up a little later than normal. It was up on Saturday instead of Friday, so I ended up just crocheting a couple items, but it still was super fun. And from now on, the Monday podcasts are going to be the short podcast, and the Fridays are going to be the long podcast anyway, so this ends up working out good after all. Alright, so I'm going to start off with talking about this cute little object. It is a cute little peach. I finally got around to finding a peach that was a baby peach, not a giant peach, so pattern, and I was super excited, and I didn't want to have to downsize a larger peach into a smaller peach, so I was like, yes! I found a baby peach. And the Amigurumi food love lady is all, I guess she's having a baby, so she's all about making all these super different sized fruit representing the size the baby is as it grows. So I just thought it was cute anyways, besides the fact of what she created the pattern all around. But I just think it's cute, even though I'm not having a baby right now, but I still think the pattern is awesome. And baby fruit, oh yeah, gotta make that. Anyways, this is the peach one. The only thing I did differently than her pattern was add a stem. She only had like a sprout, she called it, but I used the leaf instead because I thought that was better on a peach than a sprout. And since it's a peach that I pictured was big enough to eat, so that's why where she was picturing one that was probably just like really small, just beginning, that would have only a sprout, not a leaf or a stem. So this is how it was made. Alright, well, first I will start off with the yarn. The yarn that I used is 100% DK yarn, which is from Paintbox Yarn. It is in the color orange peach, grass green, and soft fudge brown. And the safety eyes are from 6060 Eyes. They are in 8mm in the color black. And then the embroidery floss is from the local craft store, and that's in red for the cheeks and black for the lips. And this is how it was made. It was made where you start off with a magic loop, or you chain X amount and do a slip stitch, or chain 2 and then you do single crochets X amount, then you pull it shut, then you do your increases, and then you go all the way around, increasing, and then you do decrease at the end. And then I decrease it to the number 6, and then I slip stitch it shut after I stuff it and put my safety eyes in. I put my safety eyes in and crochet the mouth and cheeks on, usually like about when I get 1 or 2 rows above where I want to put the safety eyes, and then I put the mouth on, cheeks on right after, because it's just easier for me to do that. Even though you could put the mouth and cheeks on afterwards, that's okay too. And then you would want to stuff it. I like to stuff as I go, but this time I ended up just stuffing after I put the safety eyes in, and then I stuffed after it got a little closer to the end. Once we got to 6 single crochets, I then whip stitched it shut. I then made the stem, which is just X amount of single crochets, and then I just crocheted X amount for the length. And voila, it made a stem. I think that I should have made it a little shorter, considering it's a peach, not like some other fruit, and it's a baby peach, so it should have had a baby stem. And then I made the leaf, which pretty much is just chain, and then you do double crochet, and then you do chain out, and then you do a slip stitch, and then you have a nice little leaf. And then I attached the stem on first to the peach, and then I attached the stem on, the leaf onto the stem and onto the peach, and then voila, I got my baby peach with a cute stem and a cool leaf. I really love this pattern, and I think that it's really good whether you're a beginner or advanced, or no matter what stage of crochet you're in. And I think that it's just super cute and adorable, and it will be up in my shop, the handmade item, not the pattern. The pattern is over on Amigurumi Food Love, and that will be the link to that. The link to that will be up on my blog as soon as I take pictures and put it up as soon as possible. And then as well as the baby peach, the handmade item, will be up on my Etsy store as soon as I take pictures of it and post it and everything. The finished object, that is. The next one I made was another Amigurumi Food Love. I love her patterns, so you're going to be seeing a lot of things that I made from her patterns. This is the potato, which is like a little mini potato. It's super cute and adorable. I started making it on my last podcast, and I decided to finish it and show it to all of you because I got it done in time for the podcast, which is awesome. Pretty much, this is made with 100% DK yarn from Paintbox Yarn, and the color grass green, and the other color is vanilla bean. That's it. I had to think for a minute, and both of it is 100% cotton yarn, DK weight yarn. That's what I meant to say, not 100% DK. Sorry about that. And yeah, I love using that yarn. It's super easy to use for making amigurumis, and it's super fun. But anyways, the safety eyes are 6mm eyes in the color black from 6060 Eyes, where I purchase all of my plastic safety eyes. The black mouth and blue cheeks are just hand stitched with embroidery floss. That's from the local craft store. And then I ended up, this is how I made it. I just did okay, so first you start off on this side, the side with the head, and you do the chain X amount in a slip stitch, or you do chain 2, or you do a magic loop. You do single crochets and you work in the round. And after you do X amount of single crochets, you pull it shut, then you do increase, decrease all the way down to the bottom. When you get about to a few rows beyond where you want to put the cheeks and the mouth, I then put the eyes in, and then the 6mm black plastic safety eyes in. I then put the mouth by hand stitching it on and hand stitching the cheeks on. I then, after doing that, I then crochet a couple of rows of decreases. Then I ended up stuffing it a little bit, and then I finished it off with doing some more decreases and stuffing, and then I ended up just decreasing it all the way down to 6 single crochets. I then stitched it shut and whip stitched it shut. Sorry about that, it's not coming out right. But anyways, then after I did that, I then created these little indents by a special way that she told me to do it through the pattern, as well as I then put the little sprout leafy thing, which ended up just being a sprout this time because potatoes don't usually have leaves, they have little sprouts, since it's a baby potato that just like came out of the ground kind of thing. And pretty much that is just made by doing not single crochet, sorry. You just do chain X amount, and then you do a double crochet and a slip stitch, and then you sew it to the top of the potato. And when I did that, it created a nice little indent on the top, which is super cool because every potato has little indents all over it, which is super cool. And every potato looks different, and I really like this pattern. It was super fun and adorable, and I want to make more potatoes, maybe in more of a fleckled yarn, which would be cool too, because that was the kind of yarn she used, and it looked even more cooler than this because it looked like the potato had spots. Yeah, her patterns are super fun and adorable, and it did just make me want to make every single one. And she's just this amazing crochet artist and food artist, and oh, she's just awesome. And also I love how she's always so positive in all of her blogs, and her pictures and everything she does is just awesome. This is a cute little cup of hot chocolate it was labeled as, and that's what I decided to make it as well. And it was from a crochet along at Furls crochet hooks. They have these little crochet alongs throughout the month of December. They ended up having one of these. They also have them through other months, and every month they have like 3 or 4 different things that they make. Sometimes amiguramis, sometimes they're hats, sometimes they're like scarves, sometimes they're cows. It could be anything, but usually they at least have a couple amiguramis every time. So I'm super excited that I got to make this cute little cup. And I love how Furls Crochet always has these little mini amiguramis from this really cool crochet artist that makes really good patterns and stuff. I always forget her name, but I will have her. I think I've had her linked on my blog before, just like Amigurumi Food Lab will be linked on my blog, and I think she's been linked before on my blog. This will be linked on my blog, and how to get the patterns and everything. And the potato, the peach, and this will all be in my shop as soon as I take pictures and post it into my shop, which will be hopefully this week. I get all of that done, but who knows? It will be in the next week to 2 weeks by the time I get everything done and photoed and up online. But anyways, this is pretty much this is made with 100% cotton yarn, DK yarn from Paintbox Yarn I used, and the color bubblegum and soft fudge. The pink is bubblegum and the top brown is soft fudge. I used 7.5 millimeter eyes, like the pattern recommended, and the eyes are always from 6060 eyes. And then I used black embroidery floss and yellow orange embroidery floss from the local craft store as the cheeks and mouth. And as always, this is all stuffed with polyfill, and so are those, both the other two, which is just pretty much toy stuffing. And the way that you make this is first you crochet the top, which is just pretty much you working around. You do you either do chain X amount and slip stitch, or you do chain 2, or you do magic loop, and then you do single crochet X amount. You pull it shut, so then you do just increases all the way around till you get the size that the pattern tells you to do. And then that's the thing I would do different. You have these little back loops here that you end up sewing it onto. I would just do it the same way I did my little cup the last time I was talking on my podcast, that I showed the little mini cup. I would just do it where you hook the yarn on and you just do your increases and then work your way all the way down to decrease. I would do it that way rather than just making this separate piece, because the top comes out a lot smoother. But anyways, and also this handle is a separate piece. I would do that the same way I did the little cup, which was chain out, and then I would just chain back up until I got the right thickness, rather than just doing this thing, which is where you chain X amount and then you pull it shut, or you do your chain X amount with your slip stitch, or you chain 2 and then you do your single crochets X amount, and then you just go around and around and around until it's the right length, and then you create the handle and then you sew it on at the end, just like you sew this on at the end. But before you sew these two pieces out, you have to have your main piece, which is pretty much where you do single crochets X amount with a slip stitch, or you do chain 2, or you do your magic loop, and then you do single crochets X amount, pull it shut, then you just go around and around, increasing. Then you go through the back loops to create those a little better bottom, but for some reason I wanted to puff out, because I think I should have put something in there to make it more flat, but I thought it looked cute, a little more puffy, because that's the way that it looked in the picture and that's the way I wanted it. Then you just go all the way around and around until you have the height that you want. And then you do a row through the front loop and then you just chain X amount through the front loop, and then you finish off it and snip your yarn. You then want to sew the brown piece, which is your hot chocolate or coffee, onto the top of it, and then as you do that, you want to stuff it. But before you do all that, you want to put your safety eyes in and crochet your mouth and cheeks on. And I did that a little bit before I finished off the top here. Just like in the pattern, it said once you made it to a certain row that you're supposed to put the safety eyes in and then crochet and safety eye. Well, I crocheted up X amount and then I went back to that row and put my eyes and then put my mouth and cheeks on because I thought that was easier than the way she explained it in her pattern. And like I just said, the thing that I would change is I would connect my yarn to the back loop and then just do chain and then not chain, single crochet around and decrease until it's shut, like I did with the little cup, rather than make this a separate piece. Even though that seems easier, it is, but at the same time it doesn't look as smooth. But other than that, I think that is super cute, adorable. Like, she had little marshmallows on it that you can add to it too. I would do that probably the next time and use a little darker brown, so then it looks that like a milk chocolate. It looks like a dark chocolate. And I really liked doing this pattern. It was super fun, super adorable. I'm going to be making more of these, but like I said, I'm going to be doing it a little differently. And so yeah, this is the cup and potato and peach, and all of them will be in my shop like I've already said. So yeah, that's about it for finished projects, and now I'm going to be talking about what's going on with me and crocheting with all of you. The thing that I'm crocheting today, first I'm using DK yarn, that's 100% cotton yarn from Paintbox Yarn in the color lime green, and this is my favorite yarn to make amiguramis with, and I'm going to be making a green apple which I think will be super cute and adorable. It's going to be a little smaller than the apple that I've shown on my podcast before and have up in my shop, and it's going to look a little differently, but I still think it's going to look really cool and adorable, and I'm excited to make it. And currently I do have a red apple, and that you can make any color apple that you want up in my shop right now, and that is in my Etsy store, my online shop, that you can purchase one that's already made anytime you would like by going to my shop that I'll tell you at the end of the link, or the link is down below. Anyways, this is what's going on with me. I'm excited about making some videos with you. Like tomorrow is Tuesday. I want to make, as the weather isn't rainy like it is today, kind of like sprinkly rain and kind of yucky out, but the weather is a little nicer. I will be doing my Tuesdays every Tuesday, which is going to be walk with me videos, which is pretty much where I talk about my weekly walks with you, and you get to hang out with me while I walk and virtually and talk with you about walking and what's going on with me and some other stuff going on, and you get to have a little peek at what I do every day, which is do daily walks. And I think it would be fun because then all of you can join me on my daily walks if you want, and take a picture, and we can post that on Instagram, and we could talk about it on Instagram, and I could even open a little chat about it on Facebook or Twitter, or yeah, on one of the social medias, or I can open up a little blog about it or something if it goes good. But for now, just the video, and then eventually a blog about it, which is super fun and exciting, and it gets me to do more weekly blogs like I've been planning to do. And I plan on sharing my patterns more frequently, like that I do on of the things that I make on the podcast, of the things that I make on the podcast more frequently. I hope to do that like once a week at least, be able to share that after I update everything, and be able to share once a week with all of you the current patterns that I'm working on, and that way you know how to get to them if you want to make any of them for yourself and so forth. Yeah, it's really fun to just share different designers different crochet designers patterns with everyone, and I always see cute things and wonder where it came from anyway. So it's super cool when I do see where it came from and I can make it myself. And I'm like, yay, I can make one in my own unique way. So it's super cool, super fun. and everything. So yeah, that's about it that I'm sharing with you today. I will be sharing more on Friday with you as the week goes on. And I'm so excited for Friday to be the crochet and book thing that I'm doing. It's pretty much where it's called Book and Hook, and it is by Loose and Loops. Is the one that's putting it off. Pretty much he live crochets with you while you listen to Harriet Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, I think is the one that we're reading currently. And it's an audiobook, and he plays the audiobook. We're doing chapters 5 through 10, I believe, this week. And then next week we're doing some more chapters, and the following week we're finishing up the book. And he meets with you like once a week, and he live crochets with you while you're crocheting something while listening to the audiobook. And then he has a nice little virtual chat that goes on that you can join in if you want, and he does join in back and talk back and everything, and you get to see what he's working on while listening to the audiobook, and you get to see what others are working on through the chat. And then you get posted on Instagram after with a little blurb about the book, not like a summary or anything, but a little like what you liked about the book or what you didn't like about the book or something. And it's super fun to just join in on the craft community and have join in with other people that are crocheting or knitting or whatever private arts project they're working on, and virtually do something with you at the same time. At the same time, that they are doing that with you. And I just think that's super fun. So I will put the link to that down below if you're interested in joining him and joining something that I am excited about joining. Although we are on chapter 5 through 10 that day, you can get the book on Amazon or some other audio stream, whatever your favorite audio stream is. But I know Amazon's one of them, audiobook, and if you click on the link that is with Lewis and Loops, then you help support him, or you could just do it on your own. I'm not affiliated with Amazon right now, so and everything, but I will be in the future. But I just wanted to put that out there if you're interested in doing that and everything. Even if you've read the Harriet Potter book, I think it's still super fun and everything. But anyways, I guess he's going to be doing this monthly from now on. It's going to be a different book, and he's going to even have people that are subscribed to him and everything that get the little newsletter. Well, you get to vote on what book and stuff, which is super fun and super exciting, and I hope that it works out really good. But anyways, that's about it that I wanted to share with all of you, and then I will talk to you next time. I'm going to do my goodbye thing now, and then I will be talking to all of you next time. As always, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button if you like this video. I love comments. Please comment down below. As well as if you would like to join or follow me on my blog, it is at https://PaintedWorldFA.com, as well as if you would like to visit my Etsy store and buy something from me that I make that is handmade, and help support me and my family. That is at https://www.etsy.com/shop/PaintedWorldFA, or you can go to https://www.etsy.com and then go up to the search button and click and type in Painted World Fiber Art, and voila, Painted World Fiber Arts will pop up, and Painted World Fiber Art you click on, and there you go, is my shop. And as always, please subscribe to all my social medias as Facebook, Twitter, Bloglovin, and Instagram, and I think that's about it. Oh, and if you would like, please join me in my Ravelry chat. It is titled Painted World Fiber Arts Podcast Chat, and please join me, and that way we can get to know each other a little better, and that is linked down below, as well as everything else is linked down below. And have a great rest of the day, night, afternoon, and I will talk to you next time. Bye bye.